Hi guys, I'm back up here with another divine feminine message for the divine feminines. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do, DM me. We can get you set up, come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as let's go share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? So that's about it. No cards today. Won't be on screen, just speaking to you guys, okay? So the channel message has to do with comparing, not really comparing, but seeing the overall message within the Five of Swords and the Hermit. Or no, not Five of Swords, Five of Cups, excuse me. The Five of Cups and Hermit, okay? If you think about the traditional tarot, right? Think about the traditional tarot. Think about the Five of Cups. It's a man in a cloak, just like the Hermit, right? And all these cups are knocked over. Everything's in despair. And this person's so focused on the tower moment or the falling of these cups that the man is not even focused on the two cups behind him, right? That are still standing, right? So if we think about the Five of Cups, right? It's still like the same energy as the Hermit. It's like before you get to the Hermit, before you're ready to dive deep, before you're ready to really get an understanding of yourself and really go through them trenches, you know what I'm saying? Go through that shadow work, right? Because that's like within the Hermit's realm, right? Seeking knowledge, seeking truth, right? You go through a moment of despair before you make it there, right? So the Five of Cups is like after the tower fell and you're mourning over what is left, the rubbish, right? So the moment that you come into acceptance of this rubbish or acceptance of what just happened or acceptance of an ending of something or the acceptance of the tower falling, you having a Godsmack, right? This is when you're able to really tap into that Hermit energy. So by the time we get to the Hermit energy, we know it's the man with the cloak, same cloak on, right? But now at this point, he's not focusing on what was spilled. He's not focused on spilled milk. What he's focusing on is finding truth within his situation, diving deep to find that clarity within one situation. Hence why we have the lantern, right? Why we have the lantern, right? So there's levels to healing. There's levels of self-discovery of oneself. There's levels to your journey. There's levels to shadow work, right? So when it comes to tapping into that shadow work, first and foremost, you're going to have to go to that period of despair, which we all been there. We all didn't want to let some shit go, aka the Four Cups, right? And then boom, and the shit knocks over. You spill everything. You end up losing it anyway. Boom, you're in the Five of Cups, right? The moment you get into the Five of Cups, right? We got the Six of Cups, reminiscing on what has happened, right? What has happened, which is bringing this energy of despair, right? So when you go through the cycles, when you go through the motions of healing, right? When you really go through the motions of healing, you know what God's showing me? The visual of lemonade. I always say it, I've said it on this platform before, that visual of Beyonce, Lemonade, the visual of the album. It shows what healing looks like in to the naked eye, right? Yes, it has to do with relationship and marriage, all what they was going through. But if we tap deep within that energy, despite if you're in a relationship or not, that could be self to self, right? Finding self out, right? Finding where you fuck up at, right? it shows the process of healing from a space of anger, sorrow, resentment, forgiveness, right? All the way back to unconditional love. It shows all of that in a visual, right? And this is that type of energy with your life, right? When you first come into discoverance, when you first discover that, shit, I ain't been living right. Shit, I ain't been taking care of myself right. Shit, I haven't been doing this. Shit, I haven't been doing that, right? Before you can even move forward, right? Before you can even move forward. I don't know why I'm saying moving forward. Before you can even move forward, you have to go through that pain, that suffering, that anger, that despair, that resentment. You got to go through that energy. You have to mourn over the rubbish that just happened, the tower moment that just happened, before you can tap into that hermit mode and get and dive deep within oneself to gain clarity on why your tower happened, right? You have to mourn over the dead. I repeat, you have to mourn over the dead before you can find clarity in what has died. Ooh. Let me say that shit again for the motherfuckers in the back in case y'all ain't hear me. You have to mourn over the dead, right? You have to mourn over the dead before you can even gain clarity on what has just died. Right? So it's about allowing yourself to go through those cycles and understanding them cycles, right? So that being said, when you tap into that hermit mode, when you tap into the man who's seeking understanding, seeking truth behind the situation or behind what cycle you're in, behind the lesson God got for you, right? You have to go through that moment of despair. You're going to have to go through that moment, that phase of mourning. But I have to go through it, and it don't feel good, right? It really doesn't, man. Like when you get over there, and when you dive deep within self after getting over that and accepting that, right, doesn't mean that you won't experience those 5 of Cup moments within the hermit phase, because trust and believe you will. But you'll have clarity on why you got to go through this. Why you're dealing with the trigger. That's what I meant. Trigger, right? And to gain that, you have to mourn fully. You're gonna have to take a good look at what has just left, what has ascended, what has moved away, what tower has fallen, right? Right. So to wrap this message up, it has to do with understanding that you have to mourn you have to mourn the dead to even get clarity on what has died. Okay? All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need to leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys to start the discussion. As well as let's go share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collective so we all can get on one accord, okay? I want you guys to have a good night. Stay up and bye-bye.